Hey, thanks for watching the Flat Track Factory channel. In this video, we'll look at the Racetrack Toolbox. This particular toolkit will be a compromise between the number of tools available and the space that they take up. In an ideal world, we'd all have a tractor trailer machine shop on wheels with us at all times. However, reality is a bit different. The tools that I include in this particular kit have evolved over time and will continue to evolve. Stick with me for the whole video, then comment down below and tell everyone what your ideas are. Here's the box that I use to service the Rotax primarily. Also works out for my Kawasaki 750 Twin and Mad Dog bike. Of course, the tools that you use, there will be specific things necessary for the bike that you run. Also, there seems to be a bit of a trade-off. As I've been racing all these years, I've sort of discovered who carries what. So it seems like some of us have some tools that others don't, and we cover for each other. This is how the race box goes to the track. Of course, it never comes back this nice, so I kind of have to reset every time. But that's the nature of it. Two things up here. Those would be in their carrying cases, but other than that, this is just how it goes to the track. Start over here, left to right. Of course, they have metric sockets and then the Allen head 5 and 6 millimeter, all labeled. Then we'll go over, got to have your chapsticks and your Tums because sometimes you got to eat track burgers. And then I use earplugs. Wish I always would have used them. That's why when you yell at me at the track, I can't hear what you're saying. Good quality tire gauge. Then I have angle cube here. This tends to be, I don't use this much. I set my stuff up on the concrete floor, but one of those tools that I help out a lot of guys sometimes need some chassis help, and it's a good place to start. And then I use a tire durometer to help tune for conditions, decide what tire I'm going to run. Then I've got my combination wrenches. I actually use all of these wrenches, 6 millimeter for spokes, all the way up to 22 for the front axle. Then the Rotax now has a fully electronic ignition with a total loss battery, so this device checks voltage and a little charger pigtail. Then I have, for the cold weather, it's always nice to have your heater, so that lives up here. Then I've got some drive tools for sockets. That could be a little cleaner. Then over here I have 0.025 and 0.032 safety wire. And of course you got something to write on. The top three drawers, this one on the left has writing tools, flashlights, and cutting tools, and then a specialty device for my Suomi helmet to swap visors. Loctite. Next drawer over is going to contain jets and a gearing chart, so I know what to do if I have to change gears. Next drawer over will be kind of miscellaneous catch-all drawer. Can't tell you how many times I've used this in the middle of the night to look at something teeny tiny like jet sizes, spare tire gauges, some nice measuring tools. Ever need to get some epoxy into a teeny tiny little crack, like fill up a hole in a Makuni slide with some epoxy. The syringe helps with that, and various measuring tools. This is kind of one of my favorite tools one of my buddies found at a racetrack. It's always fun to race at car racetracks because car racers work on their stuff in the dark in a hurry and then put the hood back on and lose kind of cool tools. It's kind of nice measuring device, great for measuring fork heights. Don't even know what this is actually supposed to be used for, but it's a really nice tool. It's one of my oldest favorite tools. The next drawer down has Allen wrenches, both T-handles and traditional style here, like these little holders they make now, and these have the ball ends, both standard and metric. This over here is my chassis stuff. The Rotax is a European engine, so metric on the engine, and the chassis is J&M, built in Poolsville, Maryland by Mike Owen, right here in the US of A. So standard wrenches and a super cool little teeny tiny 3/8 drive ratchet. This is great for working on motorcycles. Cool little tool for in-gaming. A wise man always said it's very important to have your branding. The next drawer down is screwdrivers and pliers, basically. I've also got a couple of files over here, emergency electrical tool, scissors, and of course super cool flush cuts I've mentioned in some other videos. Gotta have some flush cuts. Lindstrom flush cuts are super cool to get those zip ties cut flush. I always like to have shorty screwdrivers, carburetor stuff. You're trying to pull the bowl off of a carburetor without pulling the carburetor off. Like a nut driver here, this gets air cleaner off. And of course a teeny tiny screwdriver for teeny tiny screwdriver stuff. That's about it for that drawer. The bottom drawer on my toolbox is the bigger stuff. This is gear change, wheel change, and then a couple I'm in trouble things like zip ties and the adjustable crescent wrench over there, tire irons, things of that nature. I'm going to pull this drawer apart and show you what's in here. Sitting right on top of my bottom drawer are these 5 tools. Key tools if you're a flat track racer. These 2 tools remove my axle, and then here is the knockoff wrench. Here's my hammer to knock the knockoff off with, and T-handle here for axle adjustments. Very quick adjustments can be made using this handmade tool, and then this actually fits perfectly in the sprocket for chain tensioning. With the gear change tools out of the way, you can see some of the wackier things that I have. This C-clamp actually works for breaking tire beads in an emergency. I probably should have a bead breaker, but this just works well and lays flat in the bottom of the drawer. I never think about it until I need it. Then I have tire irons rather for removing tires, taped up out of the way. It's not typically something that I do at the track. Lineup tool, pry bar. Obviously you can see this is when things are going sideways. And I have tie wraps here, different sizes, an additional knockoff wrench for a different style of nut, and then a spring tool. And that about does it. That's my racetrack toolbox. Comment down below. Tell me what you think I've missed. Tell me the specialty tools that you found helpful and what you need for your motorcycle. If you like this type of content, click the subscribe button. Maybe it's over here, maybe it's right there. And comment down below. That type of engagement keeps this content visible. Thanks for watching.